Good morning, kindergartners. Today, for daily routines, we're going to start by practicing all the letters that we know so far. So if you would like to follow along, you can get your letter cards out. That's what I'm going to use. Remember, you echo me, so that means I say it first, and then you say it, all three things, and don't forget to do the action. C, cat, k. O, octopus, ah. Good job. G, goat, g. Very good. A, apple, a. D, dog, d, d. S, sandwich, s. Remember, this is swimming. L, light, l. And our newest one, igloo, I. Next, we're going to do some listening for the sound, I. When you hear that sound, you're going to use your remote, like icky, and you're going to click it. Say the word ill. Do you hear I at the beginning of ill? Yes, so you should be clicking your remote. Say the word ink. Do you hear I at the beginning of the word ink? Yes, you do. Click your remote. Say the word luck. Do you hear I at the beginning of the word luck? No. If you're doing an action, you should be doing this action for the letter L. Ooh, luck. Good job. Don't let me trick you. Say the word clap. What do you hear at the beginning of the word clap? That's the letter C and the sound k, k, k. Good job. Say the word itch. Like itch. What do you hear at the beginning of the word itch? That's one of icky, letter I. I. Say the word swing. What do you hear at the beginning of the word swing? That's our letter S, like Sal and swimming. Say the word giggle. Giggle means to laugh. What do you hear at the beginning of the word giggle? Golly's letter G. Say the word if. What do you hear at the beginning of the word if? And remember, if you have trouble hearing the beginning sound, say it a whole bunch of times. If. That's Icky's letter I. Maybe you don't hear it the very first time, but don't stop them. Say it again and really make that beginning sound so your ears can hear it. Say the word invite. If you were going to have a party and you wanted people to come, you would invite them. What do you hear at the beginning of the word invite? Icky's letter I again. Invite. Say imagine. When we imagine, we pretend and we make things up in our brain and we imagine and pretend that we're astronauts in outer space. Imagine. What do you hear at the beginning of imagine? That's our new letter I. Just like in igloo. This might be a new picture to you. You might not know what this is called, so make sure you practice it. Igloo. And I bet you know that an igloo is made out of snow and ice, and it's cold, right? So that's what an igloo is. Next, we're going to do dictation. So you're going to need a pencil and a piece of handwriting paper. If you don't have handwriting paper, any in the back of your binder, the black and white paper, then you can use whatever paper you have. Let's start by putting our names on the tops of our pages. Remember to use an uppercase letter at the beginning and all the rest lowercase. And if you remember how to write your last name or what the first letter is of your last name, you should write that too. Now that our name is on our page, we can start saying some words, listening for the beginning sounds, and writing the letter that we hear. Say the word land. Write down the letter that you hear at the beginning of the word land. Did you write down the lowercase letter L? Good, and I forgot to tell you that we are doing lowercase unless we hear someone's name or someone's name. You can just know that it's going to be lowercase. Say the word it. What do you hear at the beginning of the word it? Write that letter with a finger space on the lines, and then we'll check. Did you write the lowercase letter I for it? Good. So far we have L and I. Say the word igloo. What do you hear at the beginning of the word igloo? This is a really good clue. It's on the letter I card. Igloo. Write down the letter that you hear. Use a finger space. Did you write down a lowercase letter I again? Good job. That is what is at the beginning of igloo. Write the word, say the word learn. What do you hear at the beginning of the word learn? Write it down with a finger space. You should have written a lowercase letter L for learn. Say lunch. What do you hear at the beginning of the word lunch? Write down what you hear at the beginning of the word lunch. You should have written down a lowercase letter L for lunch. Last one. Say the word ill. Remember, if you're ill, that means you're sick. It's just another word, a way to say sick. So what do you hear at the beginning of ill? That's our lowercase letter I. Ill. Let's name the letters and make the sounds that we wrote for all of those words. L says ooh. I says it. I says it. L says ooh. L says ooh. And I says it. Great. We're going to use some more lines of our handwriting page for handwriting practice. So for handwriting practice, we're going to write some words. We did this in school once, and you did so good. I'd like to try it while you're here at home watching on the computer. I'm going to write letters and words on the page, and I want you to make the sounds as I write them so that you can read the word. So I'm going to start, and you start making those sounds. G. O. A. D. Glad. Glad. Cass. Glad Cass. How was that? Was it pretty easy to make the letter sounds as I wrote the letters? And then it was even easier to read the words. Glad Cass. And what does glad mean? Do you remember? It means happy. Let's try one more. Make the letter sounds as I write the letters. G. O. A. D. Glad. Glad. It's the same word again. Glad. Let's see if the next word's going to be the same. D. No, it's not the same. They start with different sounds. D. Ah. K. Duck. So glad duck is what I wrote on the second or on the next line. Glad means happy. Can't forget that. So now, since this was handwriting practice, I'd like you to pause the video so that you can write these words, glad Cass and glad Doc. Don't forget your uppercase letters. Make the rest lowercase. Use the handwriting lines correctly, and don't forget your finger space. You can pause the video so that you can see the words for longer, but that's the last part of daily routines.